Once in a small river town, a fisherman sat alone in his boat. Just him, his fishing rod, and the gentle current. As he sat there, lost in the quiet, a speck appeared far in the distance. Another boat was coming down the river, right toward him. At first he didn't think much of it. It'll change course, he thought. But the boat kept coming closer. The fisherman's peace started to crack. A small annoyance crept in. "Surely they see me," he muttered to himself. Yet the boat continued on its path. Now the fisherman's heart pounded in his chest. His face turned red. How could someone be so careless, he thought, clenching his fists. Finally, bump. The two boats touched. The fisherman stood up, ready to shout, to let all his anger spill out. But then he looked closer. Suddenly, all his anger vanished. The boat was empty. It was just pushed by the wind and carried by the water. There was no one to shout at, no one to blame. Sitting back down, the fisherman thought about what had happened as his heart quieted down and his face relaxed. He found himself smiling, surprised at how he had allowed himself to be angered by an empty boat. It's easy to get angry when you think someone else is to blame. But when you realize that there's no one to blame, you find your peace again. The fisherman went back to his fishing, a little wiser, his peace a bit deeper. You see, it's often our own perceptions and assumptions that lead us to anger and frustration. We create stories in our minds about who is to blame for our unhappiness, but in reality, there is often no one to blame. When we let go of the need to assign blame, we can find peace and acceptance in the present moment. Our peace is within our control, and we have the power to choose how we respond to the boats that come our way. This is the Parabolist. Thanks for tuning in, and blessings always.